Yo, 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 what's going on, y'all? It's your girl, Ryder Creator, coming back with another one. Today, I wanted to focus on a trial I've been watching for the last 2 days. So, it's a young man by the name of OTHAL WALLACE. Um, the trial is going on in Florida. Um, I'm just gonna give you like a little short story about what happened and how I feel about the case, how I feel about the charges, how I feel about whatever that comes to mind. So, and I dropped the link in the chat in case somebody want to come up and put their 2 cents in, whatever, whether it be a debate, whether it be back and forth, whether it be agreement, whether it be whatever. You're welcome to come up and hit the link. So anyway, so for the people that don't know who Otha Wallace is, Otha Wallace, well, for the people that don't know about the trial and about the case. So um Otha Wallace is a young man who was in Florida, um, where a cop accosted him, and uh, in my opinion, from what I saw, I felt like try to put hands on him, unwarranted, unlawfully. I also think it's important for people to know their rights when encountering the police. I'm gonna actually do um I don't know if I ever did it already, but even if I did do it already on my channel, I'm going to do it again. This is going to be probably titled "Know Your Rights," and I'm going to teach people about what I know about your rights and what you have a right to say, what you shouldn't say, what you have the right to do, what you shouldn't do. Um, just just knowing the particulars and the ins and outs about your rights when encountering law enforcement. So, in my opinion, the policeman accosted him um, unwarranted. Also, as I've been watching the trial, they've been trying to say that they thought that a car was stolen, and that is why they harassed this man because it was harassment. This is why they came up harassing this man. Um, I believe that part was made up just to try to make it seem like it was some type of justification for harassing this man, but I still don't believe it was lawful. Um, I believe that part because that wasn't an original statement. What I remember about the first time I heard about this case, from the beginning, when I first heard about the statement, I heard the police statement. I knew that it was self-defense for Otho Wallace. So in this whole thing, so when the cop put his hands on Otho Wallace, then um I don't know if I want to say a struggle ensued, but Otho Wallace felt like he needed to defend himself because now this man is crossing the line, putting his hands on him. So in result, the cop ends up being shot. And in my opinion, in self-defense. I'm sorry. I saw what I saw. I know about our rights when encountering them. And I mean, it's other ways to handle it, but I felt like it was other ways this cop could have handled whatever they were claiming happened, because the cop ended up dying. I think it was 2 months later, and so 2 or 4 months later, I can't remember which one it was, but I think it was 2 months, but it could have been 4. So anyway, but I personally think that it was self-defense. Yes, everything could have been handled different, not just from Otho, but from this cop. From the way that he came up, harassing him for no reason. When he asked what was the problem, the cop wouldn't give him an answer. He was just trying to get him up on the car so he can frisk him, which also I'm going to be talking about that when it comes to your rights. Um, I'm gonna be doing this rights show pretty soon because I want everyone to know their rights when encountering law enforcement, because um, things can go horribly left. I mean, just look at George Floyd. Just look at Breonna Taylor. just in her own home. Just look at Tamir Rice. Just look at Philando Castile. Just look at anybody. There's so many names. I could just go on and on. Laquan McDonald. Um, you can look at so many different cases, but I'm just not gonna, keep on going on with the names. But I could go on and on and on and on, and maybe write a book about it. But things can go horribly left when encountering law enforcement. So I do want to do a show on letting people know their rights, because I believe it's important that everyone of every race that is a U.S. citizen know their rights when encountering law enforcement. So anyway, so how I feel about the case, the trial, I feel like um it has brought a lot of ugliness out in people. Um we Where I'm watching the trial, it's like a live. You know how like I'm doing a live right now? It's a live like that. And so we have conversation in the chat. So when we have conversation in the chat, it can go left too. So it's like a big racial divide. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but it really is. That's what I see. That's what I witness. And it's like, uh, I don't want to say the Karens and the Kyles, but I want to say it's like the privileged um and the people who have been a victim of this harassment by these people. And it's just like nobody is willing to see the other person's side. Usually I don't let it get under my skin, but it is a very combative place to be. I mean, you can't even exist without stating your opinion, without opposition, not just opposition, almost harassment. Like both sides are going back and forth and on a constant basis. It's really interesting. I don't know if it's entertaining. I just know it's a very combative situation, you know? So we try to, whenever I'm stating the case, I try to remove the emotion from it. And I usually try to just tell the fact and what I believe, what the rights that I know that he had and were violated and how they were violated and what do they mean. Because a lot of the times, because it's this divide, um, the people that don't look like me, they feel that if you are law enforcement, you are in the right, which is not always the case. Like, and then they try to say stuff like, "Oh, we'll see how would you feel if it was if he shot a black officer or whatever. If that officer violated his rights like the white one did, I would feel the same exact way. Point blank, period. It has nothing to do with race, but I'm sure it's going to play a big factor in how this case uh, turns out. Either way, it's gonna. Hey, boo! How you doing, Cold Pepsi? How you been, boo boo? It's good to see you. I'll be thinking about you. How you been? Um, you one of the real ones. That's what I'm gonna say. Thank you for always being supportive of me, no matter what. And what you don't know is I'm always supportive of you, even when you're not in my presence. Point blank, period. I don't play no games. Like, no, you my peoples. So anyway, like I was going back to the so have you heard about this case, the OTHAL Wallace case, Cold Pepsi? So I'm just asking. And I just want to know what's your opinion. That's good. I'm glad you're good. So I would like to know your opinion. Drop it in the comments or come up on the set if you want. But so I was just saying that it's a lot of division because of the different races that are actually, it is like the black and brown, and then it's the other race, and then it's like nobody can see nobody's side. Nobody is willing to hear anyone else's side. And it's just a lot of combativeness in there. Oh, you haven't heard, right? So I'm just gonna try to make a long story short because I don't know if he was in here, but what has happened is a young man that's from Florida. No, he's not from Florida. He was in Florida at the time, but it's a young man that was in Florida, and a cop accosted him and ended up laying hands on him, but literally, to me, harassed him. End up trying to lay hands on him, which made a struggle ensue, because he had the right to defend himself. But in the end, he won the battle, the physical battle, even though the cop was twice his size almost. But he won the physical battle, and the cop ended up being shot. Now, in the eyes of the law, that really is self-defense, and especially in Florida, because I believe they got that stand your ground. Ain't that where my baby was shot? 13 years old. I mean 17. What was he? 17 years old? I can't think of his name. I'm seeing his face right now, but I cannot think of his name. Um, Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin. So yeah, they got that stand your ground law. So, but they're not going to make that accessible for him because it's against law enforcement. But I'm one of those people that believe that people should know, citizens should know their rights when encountering law enforcement, because it could be a very murky area and your life could be in jeopardy in situations like that. So it's like a situation like that. So anyway, what was I about to say? You hear that little Ronald McDonald horn? That sounds like a little toy horn. That's my car. Yeah. So anyway, what was I about to say? I personally believe that this is going to be a very combative trial, combative case, because people that don't look like me will never see the person that does look like me side. They will never see that we can be harassed as U.S. citizens. They will never see that because a lot of them believe that no matter what law enforcement do, they right. But they're not going to believe otherwise until they are harassed by law enforcement. So, you said, so why is it can't work on both sides? Right. I'm going to be doing another piece on people knowing their rights. And so everybody be on the lookout for that, because I'm going to definitely do that. I want every citizen to know their rights when encountering authorities, because it could end horribly. It could go left. And I was saying, just as George Floyd, just as Breonna Taylor, as Tamir Rice, as Eric Garner, as, go on and on. Philando Castile, like, just keep going. Kwame McDonald, like, it's just a lot. Like, so I'm going to have to look into this one while I stay on this case. Yep. It's going to be something, I hope. I don't know. I just don't have a good feeling about where he's being tried at in Florida, where they got this, one-sided justice, because there's no way in hell that that fat man, I forgot his name, the fat man that killed Trayvon Martin. Forgive me for saying that word, strike that word forgive me, that took the life, that unalived Trayvon Martin. Okay, a little boy going to the store, and he stalked this boy. The police can be heard on the phone asking this man to stop following this young boy, and he still followed him, stalked him, got into a struggle with him, and then murdered him. Okay, so that's how I feel about it. So yeah, I want to see how it turns out. I'm gonna be praying for him, because George Zimmerman. Yeah, I couldn't remember. I don't know how I forgot that either, because somebody from I think it's the New York Mets or the New York Yankees. I think it's the Mets, but it could be the Yankees. One of their pitchers' name is Zimmerman, and I remember it's such a shame. I ain't even like the man just because of his name, and that man ain't did nothing to me. But yup, yeah. But yes, I want to see how this is going to turn out because it's going to be it actually, even in the comments, it's turned into a SHIT show. For real, for real. Like I be saying this, and then it turns into the people talking about their Trump supporters, and then it turns into our people talking about did they support the insurrection on January 6th. It just be a hot mess in them comments. It might be entertaining to some, but it's very combative. And I just pray that, this man gets a fair trial. I mean, I really feel like so the cops came up with the excuse because of the whole probable cause thing. So they came up with the excuse that they thought that Othal's car was a stolen car. Now, that's still no reason to put your hands on this U.S. citizen who has done nothing to you. The cop came up and was like, do you live here? And he was like, excuse me? What's going on? What's going on? So, excuse me, sir, or something. He said, what's going on? And then he said, do you live here? He said, first, I need to know what's going on. Why are you asking me that and what is going on? Because he was just minding his business. He was just sitting in his car, not doing anything wrong. So if you try to say the car looks suspicious, they wasn't doing nothing in the car. I don't even know if it was a person in the passenger seat, but all I know is he wasn't doing nothing in the car in which this man thought he had a right to do anything. And then, but Othel had got up out the car when the man said, do he live here? He's like, excuse me, sir, what's going on? And then he said, again, do you live here? He said, first, I need to know what's going on. So then the cop puts his hand on, and you cannot expect everybody to react just the way you react. You know how men try to do this little thing? I don't know if it's chomping somebody, but put their hand on their shoulder with the little strength or whatever. I don't know what that's supposed to be, but that can end badly too. And so once he did that, I was like, come on now, get your hands off me. And then a struggle ensued. And in the end, a cop ended up shot. And it took him 2 months to pass away. 2 months or 4 months, I think. I think it's 2 months though. To pass away. And so now is the trial, and now they want to charge him with murder. I don't understand how self-defense is not on the board as far as a possibility. I just don't understand that, because if this was the vice versa, and this was the policeman that really did open fire on this man, and even if it was that same officer, the same situation happened, and he opened fire on this man, oh, he would be getting medals. He wouldn't even be questioned. It would be case closed. It would be business as usual. Good job. And I just think that's so shady. So it's like one of those things. And his lawyer today, Othal's lawyer today, backed 2 different cops up 2 different times because they're trying to control the narrative. They were trying to say that they thought that the car was stolen, but that was never on the table in the original police statement. I did not see that. The first time I ever heard the police statement or read it, I don't remember if I read it first or heard it from somebody else, but the first time I knew that it was self-defense by what was said. So the police statement said that struggle ensued. That's why I keep saying that, a struggle ensued, because I keep saying a struggle ensued because they said that. Now, any cop that I have ever met, if they were in the right and the assailant lunged at him or put hands on him first, oh, that's what he would have said for sure. And the fact that they just said a struggle ensued and never said how anything even got to that point or escalated or how anybody put hands on anybody, I knew it was self-defense just off of that alone. The fact that that was omitted out of the conversation told me that it was some shady business underneath, in between the lines. Okay. So yes. But the thing is, if they thought that was a stolen car, this is what we was going back and forth in the chat. Somebody was saying, he thought it was a stolen car. I said, well, that is not OTHAL Wallace's fault. It was not a stolen car, and he should have did his job and went around the front or the back, whichever place the license plate is on in that state, and checked out the license plate and ran the license plate. He should have never approached that man. He should have never approached that man. That is violating his civil rights. Like, the way that this went, it was a violation of his civil rights. Like, we all have rights, and that's why I'm gonna do a piece on us knowing our rights when encountering authorities. And it will keep you out of jail, and it will keep you, I don't know if it'll keep you alive, because when all things happen all at a sudden, anything can unfold. So I don't know if it'll keep you alive, but it'll keep you out of jail. And I'm gonna tell people their rights because they need to know. So let's say I still hold on. Yeah, let me start putting this up. Yes. Oh yeah, that pumpkin head. Yeah, I don't like him either. Yeah. Yup. And he almost murdered that woman with the same gun. Oh, wait a minute, let me go back. Right. Ask for his identification and tell him why he's being pulled over. The police thing, because he was stopped. He wasn't even driving nowhere. That's the thing. This is why I said what I said to the person in the comments, because they was trying to say, oh, he thought his suspicion was he has the right to be it was suspicious activity. That's not suspicious activity on Othal's part. If you thought it was just for suspicious activity, you do not have the right to approach somebody and then put your hands on somebody just because you suspect something about them. That's still profiling them. So I forgot I was about to say. Wait. I have to tell him why he's being pulled over. Oh, that the car was in the parking lot at an apartment complex, chilling in the parking lot, not doing nothing, sitting in his car, parked. So these people say that they suspected of being a stolen car. Now, he claimed that it's some bushes blocking the back of his license plate, but I don't believe that. Like, it didn't look like he was I gotta go look at that tape again, because it didn't look like he was in front of some bushes, but he could have been. But still, you gotta get your lazy behind in the back, since you're so busy coming up with this fake behind story talking about you thought it was a stolen car. You gotta get your lazy behind in the back, lift up them bushes, lift up that poison ivy or whatever is there, and go see if that's the license plate number that you're looking for in this fictitious stolen car. Okay? Like, they be trying us. And it's just like the people that don't look like us, they think we should just put up with this. They think we're supposed to just be like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like, yo, I got into a whole situation with somebody or somebody's life because of the same situation just like this. Because they felt so it was something about some girl being shot and killed by the cops, okay, over suspected shoplifting. So the woman was in a car, and the cops came up and they was like asking her to get out the car. They said she shoplifted and get out the car and all this and this and that. And she was like, no. And so as they was breaking down this tape, right, this guy who faked being my race, I believe. I don't even believe he was the same race as me, but he tried to say us like he was my race. So anyway, he was like, I don't know why she didn't just get out the car if she didn't do anything wrong. I said, because we die every day for doing nothing wrong. That's what I said, and I meant it. So he gonna say, um, this is his response for what I said. So, and the only reason why I said something is because he put in a question for him, and that's why I answered it. Okay, because he put it in the question for him. So he says, what did he say? Oh, I think that black on black crime is our biggest problem, bigger than any cop. What are you talking? I said that's a white man's answer. That's like a white man's answer, or yeah, or like he was saying it like us, like he's black. No, I don't even think the man was black. But anyway, so he gonna say so I said that's like a white man's answer, or a man who do not have any love for his people. So any bit. So then he's like, I don't try to I don't do that my people stuff. I don't do whatever and all this stuff and this and that. Dude, oh, he said, oh, Ryder Creator, we have nothing more to talk about. And I was like, already, that's where I was at in the first place. By then, once you said that black on black crime that's like that really is a white man's answer. I'm not lying. That's what white people say to combat us saying that it's wrong for us to be murdered by authorities. This is what their response is. So a whole situation occurred, and the man was trying to tell people on me, trying to get me kicked out the lab, talking about he did nothing wrong, and all this, and crying the blues and all this stuff. It was a whole situation. But they'll never understand what it's like to be us and to be prideful and survivors the way we are and as strong as we are and still seem unfazed. But we are phased. We are affected by the bull crap we've been through, but we just have a way of it's seeming like it doesn't show, but it shows. But anyway, so you saying thank police, they're above, yeah, the police think they're above the law, yeah. With who gun was the police? That's what I wanted to know. So it was, I don't know. You know what? I'm about to ask the rise. I'm about to ask my ancestors. I'm about to ask our ancestors. So, ancestors, was it Othal's gun that the policeman was shot with? No, they can't. They said no. It wasn't. No. Was he armed that day? No, he was not armed. He was sitting there minding his business. So it must be the policeman's gun. Oh, see, I couldn't get the clear story about that because every time I seen them being questioned, they would only go as far as to say where was the officer's gun at, and where was his mace at, and where was his belt, and whatever. And then you're like, oh, it was right on him, and it was snapped in to some holster. So it made me believe that he was not shot with his own gun. I don't know. I'm just gonna say I don't know. Was it the officer's gun? No, it wasn't the officer's gun. I ain't think so. Right. I ain't think so because it just didn't seem like that because they kept just asking that much. And so I think they was trying to prove that the officer's gun was still on him. So Othal had another gun that he shot him with or something. I don't know. I really don't know. And I'm not even, you know what? I'm not going to speak on it, and I'm not going to speculate and say that this is the truth. I just assume that Othal had a gun. No, he didn't. Oh, God. So he didn't? No. Ooh, my ancestors keep telling me he did not. So how did the man end up shot? How did the officer end up shot? Ooh, did Othal shoot the officer? They got it like 50% yes, 50% no. You know why I'm asking that? Because he was with another officer. So if this situation unraveled, it's a possibility that that other officer could have shot at Ophel and shot that man. I don't know. I gotta find out. So yesterday was the opening statements for this case, and today was the first day, but I gotta stick around and really get the details because I don't know. I don't know why they kept asking about this gun that was on this officer's belt and his mace. So I gotta find out the particulars about that. It might get juicy. So yeah, girl. I don't know. You know why I say that is because that's exactly what happened with Breonna Taylor. On the Breonna Taylor case, they was trying to make it seem like her boyfriend had unloaded at these officers, and that was not the case. These officers broke down her door. They did a no-knock warrant when they were supposed to do a knock and announce warrant when they did not do so. And so all they know was somebody kicked in their door, and the boy Kenneth shot up in the air like a warning shot, because that's what you're supposed to do. That's part of your rights too. A warning shot before you unload on people. So little did he notice was the cops. Who would think the cops would just break down your door and not announce themselves? So, and the person they was looking for was not even there. He had not lived there in like a year or two. So anyway, he was actually locked up at the time. So anyway, but so the boyfriend Kenneth had shot up in the air. So the police started unloading on them. I mean, unloading on them, probably like 100 and something bullets, like unloading. Now it was a rogue cop. I wish I could remember it. Hankerson, Barry Hankerson, or something like that. His name is, I think that's his name, Barry Hankerson. And that he went around the side of the house. Now, he did not have the Glocks that most cops get. He had his own different service weapon, which was a 9mm. So he went around the side of the house and started shooting into the side of the house. Now, the cops is unloading on them because they think that the boyfriend is shooting at them, when in reality, Barry Hankerson went around the side of the house and was shooting at the cops because he can't see. He's firing blindly in this window that he really can't see what's going on. And he, in turn, hit his own cops in both of his knees. This guy in both of his knees. And they was trying to get the dude Kenneth locked up for that. But Kenneth only unloaded one shot. One shot was discharged from his gun. So all they can say is they can't prove that one of those bullets was not, because Kenneth had a 9mm as well. And that's why they were saying that. So it was a real sticky, crazy situation. And they got off. And they got off. And Barry Hankerson got off. He only got charged with wanton endangerment or something. And it only stands for what? Did he even get convicted of that? No. He didn't get convicted of that. He beat that. And this is how they do us. And y'all expect us to just sit there and be okay with that. No, we ain't okay with that. They leave stuff out so they can try to fix something. That's exactly what they was trying to do. I felt like they added at the end of everything before the trial, they just added that they thought the car was stolen. I don't believe that was the reason why they showed up. I just feel like they got a whole bunch of police to lie for each other, different units and sectors to come together, which was the robbery/homicide division. I ain't never heard of no robbery/homicide division. I never heard of no cops working the robbery and the homicide division. But okay, that's who was on the stand today. One guy who looked like Barry Hankerson. That's probably why I brought up Breonna Taylor, because he looked like his ass. He looked like Barry Hankerson, the one that murdered Breonna Taylor. So he came on the stand. And he was saying that he worked for the robbery / homicide. I never heard of that. It's usually just a homicide division, robbery and whatever, but I never heard of robbery and homicides being all wrapped into one, and it's just one division handling all of it. I never heard of that before. But you know how they do it in Florida. Wait a minute. This is something. Yes. Yes. A parked car. Yes, boo. And yo, he had. Let me ask you that. Was that other cop in the car with the first cop that came out? Yeah. So he had a partner. He came up effing with this man. This man did not do nothing. He was sitting in his car, and they came up, knocked on the window, talking about, "Do you live here?" And he was like, "Say what, sir?" or whatever. I don't know what he said, but he said something about sir. He like, "What's going on?" That's what he said. "What's going on, sir?" So he was like, "Do you live here?" And he's like, "I need to know what's going on here. Like, why are you asking me that?" Because he's one of these groups that is, oh, matter of fact, I think he's from the NFAC. I think he's from the, you know what I'm talking about, the not effing around crew. So anyway, so I think he's from there, but I'm not sure because I remember that the guy that is locked up now, Grandmaster Jay, he denounced him. I remember this. He denounced him. So I don't know if he is a part of that crew or not a part of that crew. I don't know. So anyway, but he was at a time. And he spent some time like rubbing elbows with the Black Panthers. I don't know. I don't know if he went back in between these different groups or if he stayed with the NFAC or if he went from the NFAC when he was announced to the Black Panthers. I don't know. It's kind of hard to keep up, but yeah. So he was from the NFAC. So he knows his laws. He knows his rights. He knows what he has a right to do and what a right not to do. So yeah. Yeah. That's what I said. They go tell me something. He suspected it of being so. I said, well, the cop should have did his job and went around the back and looked on the back of that car or on the front of that car for the license plate and then run it in his system. And if it's not stolen, he should have went about his way. Because you're not going to come up with that story and that's not going to fly with everybody. Everybody ain't for that. Yeah, they're trying to mix the mess up. But, you know, all the people that don't look like us, they go for that type of thing. They like that type of thing. Did you say someone was in the car with it? I don't know. Was somebody in the car with Ocho? No. Because they were saying something about the passenger seat. That's the reason why I didn't know. Because they were saying, they was asking questions and they asked about the passenger seat. And I don't know what that was about. I don't know if they were trying to say that he had a gun in the passenger seat. I don't know. I don't know what they was trying to insinuate, but they was asking about his passenger seat. So I'm not clear on why, and I'm not clear on why they was asking about the officer's gun belt and taser belt. Yup. You said it's either that or someone at the conference. Um, I forgot what I said. I forgot what I said. I forgot what I said. But I don't know. That's not right. He, but whoever. Mm-hmm. Yup. They be trying it though. So I just want to talk about my personal opinion about this. I personally feel like it was self-defense because I know my rights. A lot of people in this world, you'll be surprised how many people don't know their rights. Yo, this be all over TV and everything. I was just watching the average Joe. I'm gonna put that example. when I get, because it was the same type of situation. So she fell asleep in the car in the parking lot, and the cops came up and said that they had a report of somebody passed out in the parking lot. So what are the odds? And then if you would have heard what they said next and then how she responded, it was all wrong. Like, she could have went to jail behind not knowing her rights and not knowing what she's supposed to say to protect herself. So yeah, it was crazy. There's a lot of people that don't know. Yeah. And so I couldn't believe that was on the Average Joe, like one of the biggest shows or whatever. And I've seen them a lot of times on shows, and people are not all the way away. I feel like Jay-Z tried to give us a gem with the I know my rights, you're gonna need a warrant for that. With that, I think he tried to, drop a gem, but it's a little bit more that we need to know. And I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna do a show on that. I'm gonna try to do that this week. I don't know if it's gonna be on the weekend, but I'm gonna try to do that this week because I want everybody to know their rights. And people got a choice whether they want to watch it or not. You can choose to be oblivious, but it might cost you your life. So that's how I feel. But yeah, so it's a lot of stuff going on with this trial. It's only been 2 days. Somebody caught 2 of the cops with I feel like in their lies. It's really weird. It's already going down, but is justice gonna be served? Because y'all already trying to charge this man with murder. It wasn't nothing on the table that was a lesser charge that was available for anything, for a plea, for whatever, for the charge or anything. Because you know how sometimes they do, okay, so they be like, yeah, he's facing murder 1 charges and murder 2 charges or something like that. They did not give him another option. And they trying to give him the death penalty. They trying to give him the death penalty because they want to fry him because they don't like uppity Negroes defending themselves against harassment from police. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. No, from harassment from anyone, not just police, from anyone, because that's what happened to Trayvon as well. From anyone. So yeah, but I just want to come through and say how I felt about it. It's going to be a very combative trial. It's going to be a very combative chat. Yeah, girl. You know they can't wait to fry us, girl. They don't want to hear no stories. What? He killed one of us? No, let's ask him. Yep, that's how they want to do it. Well, that's how they trying to do it. So I'm praying for this man. I'm praying that justice is served. It really was self-defense. And it's so sad that in this day and age, you still don't have a right to defend yourself against rogue authorities who think it's okay to harass or try to take your life. It's so sad. So, yep. So we're gonna see how this all turn out. If you was interested in watching the case or whatever, if you get time or whatever, if you was interested in watching the case, it comes on Fox 35 Live. It's some channel. It will say Fox 35 Live. And if you just put in Google OTHAL Wallace case, and it'll come up and it'll show you which places have it live. So that's what I was doing for the past 2 days, and hopefully we could pray some justice for this man, because I just got a bad feeling about where he at. And I just don't want to. I don't want to put that on him. I don't want to say anything that I'm not trying to manifest nothing negative for him. So I'm gonna keep praying that proper justice is served because we know this was self-defense. So, yup, yup, yup. I want to tell you just in case. Yup, yup. And they be having a YouTube channel and they be having lives, and that's where we be going. It be so conflicted in there, like it's so combative. Like you have the people that don't look like us, and then you got the black and brown people on one side, and it's just everybody going back and forth. And the ones who don't look like us don't understand. And so it's just always conflict and ignorant comments and just ridiculousness. But yeah, put on your armor. Don't be shocked at the things that come out these people's mouth because just expect the worst. Prepare yourself if you go into the chat. But so yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to see if you want to watch it. Yeah, it's on Fox 35. And you would catch up if you wanted to. Like it'll probably have some condensed form of what happened today. And then it has the whole 7 hours that it was on. And then the same thing for yesterday, I think. So yeah. But yeah. So I think that's gonna be it for today. Is there anything that anybody else would like to talk about, or are we done for the day? I guess we done for the day. So thank you for busting it up with me, y'all. I appreciate y'all busting it up with me. If you want to support the channel, you see the Cash App scrolling across the bottom. I also have PayPal account that's listed in the description box. If you wish to contact me, I have an email address and a phone number where you can text me at, listed in the description box as well. And hopefully we get some justice for this young brother. And I think that's it for today. On that note, I'm going to leave it just like that. All right, y'all. Thank you for busting it up with me. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Mwah. Peace.